So though there's here got intersection, I switched to quadrant, okay? Or endpoint in that case. Now, if you rotate a circle, the quadrants are still up and down and sideways. If I rotate that circle, it doesn't matter. You can see if you rotate an ellipse, the quadrants do rotate, okay? Just a note. Same as line, for instance, from the endpoint and no quadrants on an arc. Midpoints, endpoints, and center points. Okay? So quadrant. Oh, I double-clicked my middle mouse button. It jumped me out there. Perpendicular, pretty straightforward. Want to draw a line, and I'll say maybe from here, and then perpendicular is on, or I could go in here and click perpendicular, but I'm just going to move along, and when it gets square to that, it's going to show me my perpendicular symbol there, and then I click, and I'm done. Okay? So perpendicular draws a line perpendicular to. If you want to go perpendicular from, we're going to have to use polar tracking, which will be coming up right after this lesson. Tangent. We can draw a line and we'll say from here. Of course, tangent has to be tangent to, and as we go around, now we're not getting tangent because it's not set in our object snaps down here. So I'm going to pick a one-timer and go in here, and it's going to give me a new symbol, tangent. Click on there, and then I'm done. Okay, try that again. Hit enter, brings back my last command. Pick a point, go get my tangent option, and bang, done. Okay, you can also draw circles using tangent radius. Okay, I'm going to draw circle, and I'm going to just temporarily move this out of the way here. And I'm going to use tan radius option here. So that's TTR, so in fact I type in a T. And it's going to say first tangent point, I'm going to say here. Second tangent point is here. The radius of my new circle I'm going to say is, let's go 5 feet. There you go. Okay, so this circle I just drew is tangent to this circle and tangent to that circle, and it has a 5-foot radius. Okay, tangent radius. Kind of looks like Mickey Mouse there. So, node, okay, N-O-D. Once again, you can type in T-A-N again here, and also perpendicular. Notice the short commands in here. If instead of picking these one-timers in here, which I have been doing, okay, you can also type in P-E-R or Q-U-A or C-E-N-I-N-T. Okay, they're all there. Okay, node. A node is a point. So if we need to draw some points, I'm going to draw a point. Notice when you first draw points, they're very little dots. Okay, I'm going to use erase. I'm going to erase those. I'm going to change my point style here. I'm going to go into our format, and I'm going to go to point style. I'm going to change from this point style to be, say, this point style, more of a surveyor's type point style, and hit OK. Now when I draw a point, okay, it's giving me more. Okay, the display of those and how they appear, because it's just a node, it's a point. The object is just a display representation. Okay, there's not really anything there other than it knows its coordinate, and they will plot if you put them on the right layer. So now when I go L for line, and I can say NOD, okay, node is that's gonna find node. Okay, again. Now that's finding nearest. I don't want nearest, I want node. So I'm going to go down here into my settings, and I'm going to turn node on and hit OK. And now, because it's smart enough to know those are points, it's giving me node. Okay, so you're just really kind of joining the dots, and this would be, again, definitely for surveying type drawings where you're bringing in shots, and these can be three-dimensional, so you're drawing a three-dimensional line up and down in space, and then you can do profiles and all kinds of good stuff off of that. So the node object snap goes from point to point. An insertion is used with text and blocks. I'm going to maybe draw a line, and if I go near this text, you're going to see it says insert. Insertion. Okay, I'm going to click here. That's the base point of a piece of text. If you want to grab the end of a piece of text, okay, it's not so easily done depending on the type of text. If it's this type of text, okay, that's one big block of M text that I've created. Okay, that has has a node as well, which is probably at the center point. So, or an insertion, not a node. So insertions are for text and for blocks. I'm going to maybe draw a line, and this time I'm going to go down and actually use insertion, which is probably one of these. Oh, there it is there. Snap to insertion, insert. And if I go near here, it's going to tell me the insertion because that's that little symbol. Now the text has insertion as well, just like this does. So this is a block. Okay, if I move this object, that's a block. That's actually our grid bubble block from over here in our drawing. Okay, so that's a block, and we move it around as one object. I'll start my line command. I'm going to use my insertion or insert, and now the text has an insert, and also, and you can disable nodes or inserts within blocks. And it has one here, which is basically at the end of my grid line. Okay, well, that's why that's there. So text, you click on it, you can see where the insertion of text, and if you click on a block, you can see where its insertion is. Similarly, when you click on these objects, these grips, okay, tell you where the snap points are of the objects. Okay, you click on a circle, click on there, see all these blue grips that are coming on. Okay. Now, grips won't find an intersection, but it will find the endpoint and midpoints and all that good stuff. Okay, so grips as well, used, to move things around and bend things around. Okay, there's nothing wrong with clicking this, grabbing this grip, and going to maybe the midpoint of there, and it actually moves it over. Okay, grab this grip of the line over here, take my ortho off, for instance, F8, go down to here, bang. Okay, so lines can be gripped, or, if you get a middle grip, well, middle grips behave differently, right? Because you move with a middle grip, an end grip does like a stretch. Okay, and it really depends on the object you click on, will depend on the effect of what happens with the grip. Okay, so grips and snap points all work really well together. Okay, so that's your point there. We can get that grip and move that text as easy as that. Click on that block, move it from there to there. That's where you start to move things. Click, grab the grip, move it to the midpoint of here, bang. Okay, take this piece of text, take this insertion point, move it to the center of there. Maybe then click on the circle, make that circle bigger, however you want. So grips and snaps, okay, work really well together. And the next thing we're going to talk about here, moving on from object snaps, is object snap tracking, which is our F11 key, and polar tracking. So in combination, I'll just go in and clean this up a little bit. In combination with what we've just learned with our object snaps, we have some other tools that are very useful that help us navigate to cover really all the options and really help us so that there's not really any sort of condition that we can't seem to get a line from where we want to where we want. So with that, we'll go into object snap tracking F11. And the way this works is, for instance, I want to draw a line from down here somewhere up, straight up, such that it comes off of what would be the end point of there. Okay, that's where we use our object snap tracking. This is our O tracking in here. So I'm going to start my line command. And what you do is, most people don't know this and they disable it right away, is watch what happens here. I'm starting a line command. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to click, but I'm just going to touch the end of this line. It's going to leave a little marker there. Okay, you see that marker? That marker is going to stay, and if I move around it, it's going to pick up little points. Okay, using my polar. Okay, so I'm going to start my line here. And as I move up, I'm going to turn my ortho on so it's nice and straight. As I move up, when it gets near that, now it's actually not doing it because my little snap, I started my command again. My little tracking guy is